Welcome to the making of a DM. You can't think big around small-minded people. Oh, this show's going to ruffle some feathers, but more importantly, it's going to add many, many M's to your bank account. So with that said, let's get started. I'm here to help and teach them what I know and how I did it to discover freedom. There ain't no question Mark Evans when he step in the door. He's closing deals. It's time to tell him what the DM stand for. I'm a deal maker, but I'm not just a deal maker. I'm a dream maker. Hey there, it's your boy Mark Evans, DM. Welcome to another making of the DM podcast show. That's right, you are the deal maker and dream maker of your life. I apologize for being light here the last couple of weeks. It's not because I don't want to be here. It's because I can't be at 7 locations at the same exact time. I'll share more about that here later today. But I'm back here in Ohio. Things are cranking to a whole nother level, which, like I said, I'm excited to share with you. Today's show is going to be very insightful, hopefully very powerful for you, as we got a lot of cool things we're going to talk about today that's changed not just my life, but many people's lives around me. Actually, everyone's lives around me. Lives has been changed with the information we're about to share, and it's something I've noticed with every ultra-high, successful, wealthy person around. So we're going to talk about that today. Before I get started, I just want to let you guys know how much I appreciate you. I don't say it enough, but I appreciate you being here. I know your time is very valuable. I don't know if you're working out, off to work, in the car, or just enjoying some leisure knowledge or walking or whatever you do. I listen to lots of podcast shows when I'm working out and walking. Actually, that's all I listen to. I don't listen to any music or anything. But I know these shows in a timely manner are very important for that, for your schedule. And again, I'm going to try to get back to scheduled times here, as well as we're going to start shooting via video. We're working on some cool stuff here in Ohio, like I said. So appreciate you checking up on me. Lots of messages asking what's going on with the next show, as well as sharing the show. We have over 206 shows out there. Been doing this for a long time now, and just keeps getting better. You guys are growing, and it's always exciting. And I just want to take a second too. If this show's made an impact in any way, shape, or form in your life, please feel free to message me at Mark Evans DM. It really is inspiring to me to get the messages I hear of what people are doing from the information they're learning from the show. I have a lot of people that's doing, listen to the show from, number 1 all the way to now. So I really, really want to say thank you. And I would love to hear what the show means to you and what it's done for you. More importantly, if it's made you think different, bigger, make you more money, give you more time freedom, etc. Hopefully spend more time with the family and all that. Like, that's, to me, would be absolutely amazing. So I want to talk about today's show because the theme today is you can't think big around small-minded people. Oh, let me say it again. You can't think big around small-minded people. I've talked a lot about this in the book Magician vs. Mule, but I think there's a lot here to say because there's a lot of stuff that's transpired over the last 30 days with just me and some buddies and other people I know inside the Dealmaker Alliance and stuff, of some just massive growth. And what it really comes down to is who you're hanging out with. Who do you share your dreams with? Like, right, if you have these big dreams and you share it with a small dreamer, they're going to shoot it down. And it's typically your friends and your family. They're not doing it to hurt you. They're doing it because they genuinely don't see or think like you do. And that that will hold you back from taking massive big steps, thinking that you're crushing certain goals, when yet you're just getting started. Typically, like I said, it's your friends and your family. I want to ask you a question, because again, I don't want to just talk in big ideas and big theories. I want to talk about practical, applicable stuff. Over the last 30 days, who in your friend or family network has told you to hire more people and grow your business? Who in your friend and family network has said, hey, go spend more money on marketing? Who in your friend or family network has said,
you should expand operations and go to multiple locations. Here's why. Who in your friend network or family network has said, hey, go buy more equipment, go spend more money on equipment and grow your business? Go acquire a company to expand your brand. Who in your network's telling you these kind of things? I even go a little bit deeper because this just happened literally yesterday to me. Who in your network said, hey, you're a true leader. You need to pipe down or slow down or stop drinking altogether and stop hanging out so much. Because you got a lot of great people around you watching you. They watch the leader, and if the leader's drinking more, they'll drink more. The leader's focused, very directive, has great standards. Guess what? Your team, your operations, everything will grow with that. I hope you're here at the Making of the DM podcast show to learn how to grow your business, grow your life, have more time freedom, have more financial freedom, and do the things that you truly want to do. That is why you're here, right? So out of the things I've asked, who said this to you? Who's saying these things to you? Who do you talk to when you get a call and say, hey, I want to buy a company? Most of your family are like, whoa, slow down there, big dog. Mr. Big Britches. Don't think you know too much. Slow it down. Be grateful for what you got. It's like, who says I'm not grateful for what I got? I'm expanding. I'm growing. It's always scary. Even when you're hanging out with big-time people, it's scary. But it's real scary if you're hanging out with small-minded thinkers. If you walked away from your business for 30 days, what would happen? Would it continue to run and generate revenue for you? Or would it slowly dry up and eventually die? If it would die, well, my friend, you don't own a business. You own a job. This is exactly why I created the Dealmaker Alliance, to show entrepreneurs and solopreneurs how to turn the business they run into a business they own. So if you own a business that makes over $250,000 a year and you want to scale it while working yourself out of the day-to-day, then join me and 160 plus high net worth owners in my private group. Fill out an application at www.dealmakeralliance.com and let's see if you're a fit. Again, that's at dealmakeralliance.com. Understand who you talk to and what you talk about is massively critical if you're trying to grow. If you're a grower, which you are because you're listening to these types of podcasts, then you have to be very conscious of your network. Inside the Dealmaker Alliance recently, several things have happened and I'll share with you. On Wednesday at 12 noon, we have a call every Wednesday. Everyone shows up. We have a physician. She has an opportunity to acquire another location. Well, who do you talk to when, first of all, your main location is like, it's growing, it's booming, it's operations heavy, you got all these moving parts. And then out of the blue, because you're starting to let people know that you're growing, you're expanding, and you're open to new ideas and opportunities. And this individual says, hey, I got to get out of this location. Me and my partner are splitting. I've known you forever. I want to give it to you practically. Yes, there's a little bit of fee involved, but you don't want it. Who do you go talk to when that situation arises? Right now in your friend network or family network. What do they say if you even talk to them about it? And then when she's sharing this with us, we're giving her multiple ideas of how to finance it, how to acquire it, why you should or shouldn't take it over, what the next play is, what your bottlenecks will become, and start sharing a bigger vision. See, when I was talking recently, last Wednesday as well, I talked to a bunch of real estate investors. I know real estate very well. I've done it 29 years. I'm a full-time investor. I kind of know a couple things. I've done thousands of houses, many transactions in multiple, from a lender, hard money lender, private lender, to LPs, to GPs. I've been involved in multiple types of transactions. many ways over. And as I'm sitting here going through this process, talking to them, I got a guy saying, yeah, man, I'm crushing it. I've been doing real estate for 25 years. I have 40 houses. I can't wait to get to 100. Now, without saying anything else, I asked him a simple question. His name was John. John, are you trying to be a multimillionaire, 100-millionaire, or billionaire? And why that's important to understand is because if you've been in the game for 20 years and you only have 40 houses and you think that's big, that's the problem. It's not big where I'm at and where I've went and where I've done. I did that my first 5 years. Well, 2 years of business. Actually, my first year, I owned more properties than that. Now, I'm not knocking it. But again, it's like he's hanging out probably with friends and family that would say, slow down, Johnny boy. You got 3 houses. You're leveraged to the hilt. It's hard, right? Because he probably talks to him about all the bad stuff. And when he shares something really big, they shoot it down and say, well, you remember the other house you had that bad tenant? You want to multiply that? And then when I was talking to him, what he realized is he doesn't know what he really is doing all this hard work for. He thinks he's made it at 40, even though he wants 100. His actions, more importantly, his results, are a direct outcome of not what he says, but what he actually believes. You know what I'm talking about. You know, what you say and what you do are two drastically different things. We know that. We're all guilty of this. But when you get around the right people that is sharing big dreams, big goals, more importantly, not sharing them, but living them, and you can see it and feel it and be guided by these individuals. I call it positive peer pressure. They want to see you win. They'll share with you the good, the bad, the ugly, and everything in between. They'll challenge your big thinking that you think you may have, and they'll put it on another level. By the way, you're already done this and are doing this now. It's just consciously or subconsciously. Because when I was talking to John, he's like, dude, 40 deals, if I got to 100, that'd be a dream. I'm like, dude, you could go do one deal with 100 units today. I could acquire in the next 90 days, without a shadow of a doubt, I could acquire a 100-unit apartment building anywhere in the country, whatever my target market is, in 90 days or so. His big thinking that's taken him 20 plus years could be accomplished in 1 quarter. 3 months. Are you around individuals that are challenging your big? Yes, you should be shaking right now. Yes, you should be nodding your head. Yes, you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's going to be scary. It could be massively overwhelming because it's new. It's expanding your brain. And before you know it, you're going to wake up 10 years from now and you're big that you think's big right now or in a new level of big. It's a choice. My biggest fact that I know is most people are hanging out with individuals that are not challenging them to think massively bigger. They're not doing it on purpose. They're doing it simply because they think. You're probably the biggest thinker. I call it the king of the dipshits. You're probably the biggest thinker of your thinking tank, your buddy list, your family. You are the one, more than likely. That's why you got to pay to get in the right rooms, to hear what other people are doing and see what they're doing and say, oh my God, if that guy can do it, why can't I do it? And now you notch up your big thinking. And with big thinking has big actions. And big actions have big results. When John told me, he's like, man, I want to make millions of dollars a year. Cool. That's a different action set and a different big and a different thinking if you're trying to make $20,000 a month? Are your friends hanging out challenging you? Are they saying, yo, bro, you're in your 40s, late 30s, 40s, 50s. You're cool to hang out with, but now you want more in life. You got to pipe down on drinking. You got people watching you now. You're a leader. You got to lead by example. I'm here to help you make more money, get more time freedom, do more things with your family, and why you're doing all this crazy stuff. Well, if you stop drinking, I know because I'd stopped 3.5 years ago. You're not hanging out anymore. You're working. And if you're hanging out with your family and your loved ones and the things you want to do, as opposed to sitting at the bar drinking, kicking back beers. And then, oh, by the way, that's phase 1 of it. Phase 2 is the hangover. You're getting up a little later. You feel a lot crappier for at least a day, maybe 2 now, depending on your age. So you're losing a lot of momentum. You can't compete with a guy like me if you're drinking. You can't. I don't have downtime. I don't have hangout drinking time. I'm in execution, growth mode constantly. Now, again, this stuff is scary. But what you're already doing is scary. If you're going to be scared, why not be scared with big dollars in your bank account, many millions, as opposed to hoping, how the hell am I going to pay my bills this week? Another person in the group was sharing how, because I talk about raising prices. That's an interesting topic. Your friends or your family that you hang out with, how many of them told you to raise your prices, Bill? Raise your prices, John. Raise your prices, Michelle. Raise your prices, Nancy, Steve. Raise your prices. Most of the time they're saying, hey, be thankful for what you got. Hey, man, you barely work actually as it is. You're crushing it. And you're like, dude, what are you talking? I'm working 18 hours a day. But she was charging $2,500 for a service. She joined the DMA, and now it's $3,500 minimum. She's getting more jobs than she's ever gotten. She's way more productive and way more happier because now she has worth. Because every time she charged $2,500, she didn't feel like her worth was there. She knew she was worth more. Now she actually feels good about making the offer. Yes, she was scared to make it initially. But if you're in the right room, we guide you to do that. We share with you what's going to happen when you do that. The truth is why most people will not raise their prices is because their fear of rejection. And what's funny about that is oftentimes you're losing jobs because you're not charging enough and you don't even know that, more than likely. Where did the number come from that you use now? Where did it come from? It's a number you've become comfortable with by presenting that offer. Because I promise you, whatever you're doing now at that number, you would have done way cheaper in the beginning. So you've built this threshold of confidence through execution. And we must continue down that path if you want to generate more money. As a business owner. See, as a solopreneur, you can charge different than if you're building a business. You have different expenses. You're looking at your P&L drastically different. Because not all, like if I charge $50 an hour and I'm a solopreneur, all that money's coming to me. But if I have an assistant, I have a person that goes out and gets the jobs for me, a sales guy, and then I have admin on the back end for collections. Not everyone pays their bills, unfortunately. I have to factor all these things in. And oh, by the way, I need a new vehicle every X amount of months, years, miles, however your structure is. I need to be factoring that in for every job. Oh, by the way, I have office rent now. I have more expenses than I ever had in the business, not in your personal life, in your business. So you've elevated your prices to match that. When's the last time you've changed your pricing? What's cool about that, $2,500 to $3,500, that's $1,000 just by getting the confidence around the rim on the first job. Now she's doing it on multiple jobs, and she's actually getting a lot more work, producing a way better life for herself, and she's able to deliver a great value to the customer. Why? Because she's baked in enough profit that she doesn't have to nickel and dime them on everything. Because when you're charging the least amount, and you got to contact the person that you're doing the work for and say, hey, man, this is $180 extra if I got to do this. Well, if you bake that in your jobs, you don't ever have to call the client and upsell them on anything like that. You just do a great job, produce a great outcome, and they'll hire you forever. Do you like to be nickel and dimed? I don't. Who's teaching you to think bigger? More importantly, who's guiding you to think bigger? Go down A1A in Palm Beach, Florida. Look to your left, look to your right on A1A. 30 million, 50 million, 100 million, 100 million, 100 million, 80 million, 75 million, 70 million, 215 million. A $1 billion compound's being built right now. $1 billion compound house, guys. You can see it. It's real. Go to the local Ferrari dealership, Lamborghini dealership, Rolls-Royce dealership. People are buying these cars every day. Go to the boatyard. Look at the yachts everywhere. Go to Fort Lauderdale and look at all the yachts. They're everywhere. It's like a Honda Civic. Do you think they're hanging out with small-minded people? Go in your local town where all the big mansions are. Do you think they hang out with small-minded people to get in those houses? The answer is no. You can't. Your family and friends, I'm not saying delete them. I'm just saying be conscious and minimize certain conversations with them because they're secretly and literally, not on purpose, killing your momentum and growth. And you say, yeah, but I'm still growing. Okay, that's even better. That's how I was. I was still growing. But I was constraining my growth because I was still inside that bubble. Once I stepped outside of that bubble, I still grew. But my acceleration of growth was 10x, 20x of what I even thought was possible. And not only that, because I got around people doing it. When I was doing 10 deals a month and I wanted to get to 100 a month, I couldn't talk to a guy doing 5 deals a month because he doesn't even know what the hell I'm talking about. He doesn't have the same challenges I have. He doesn't have the same constraints. I had to get in a room where guys are doing 100 to 500 to 1,000 deals a month. Yes, that exists. I paid to play. I'm like, what do you do? How do you do that? How can I do that? Is what I kept asking myself. And then I started navigating in different waters. Right? It's like taking a boat out in the lake versus a river versus the ocean. Different captains. If you don't know certain areas, you're going to get in trouble. And I'm not saying there's not certain things that are going to happen in the journey, but you're going to work hard no matter what. Why not work really hard on massively big things? Not your big, but the real universe big. I know for a fact the majority of people listening to my voice right now is living below their big. Even though you can see it as big. Man, I'm doing big stuff. You are? John, you've done 40 deals in 20 years, dude. How's that big? You're delusional. We're all delusional. But what delusion do you have? You can't tell me you're doing big shit when you have no employees. You can't tell me you're doing big shit when you're barely paying your bills. You can't tell me you're doing big shit when you don't have a massive following with people giving you opportunities galore. My biggest problem is I have so much opportunity, I need a team, and I have a team, and I'm hiring more team members to help me vet them. That's my biggest problem. I've scaled visibility. I have attention. I've scaled teams in multiple companies, multiple environments. We have a lot of momentum, a lot of cohesiveness going on in the growth. And I'm not saying there's not challenges in that. I'm not saying there's not hiccups in that. But those are my challenges. I was talking with a buddy today. He's got something really cool going on. I can't wait to share it. But it will be happening August, September. It's very, very cool, actually. And he's telling me about what he's working on. This guy's massively successful. I told you his brand. You would definitely know it. It's done hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of millions of dollars a year. Very large celebrities endorse. It's huge. You've seen them all over TV. And I was talking to him today, and him and we go way back, 22, 23 years. And I was catching up with him on some stuff, coming back from the farm, and he's telling me what he's up to, and I'm like, dude, that's awesome. But how much money can we give away to charity? You have a big voice. You have amazing products. You have a lot of people. I can show you how to give away at least $250,000 with what you're up to, minimum, just by doing what you're about to do. He's like, oh my God, dude, I never even thought about that. This guy he's a family guy. He's a business guy. He's a huge leader. He just does big stuff. But that's our conversation on a 20-minute drive from the farm to my house. Elevating him to bigger thinking. He's already doing big shit. Now we can add $250,000 minimum to charity by doing the same exact work. That's the kind of friends and kind of network you need to be in. And if you're not, you're shortchanging your future. You're stealing from your future because you're not willing to get uncomfortable by stepping into a different room. Sharing your wins, sharing your challenges, talking about what you're working on, being challenged on what you think is big. When you do this, magic happens. Magic. It's magical. I would just hate to see someone like yourself work really hard on your big to wake up with a small bank account in the future. I see it every day. And I'm talking to you as a hardcore entrepreneur. This isn't for everybody. This is for you. You have to buckle down. You have to challenge your thinking of big. And you have to truly get around massively big thinkers and befriend them and become friends with these individuals to drive a bigger big. Whatever you're doing, you're capable of way more. But I would challenge you to audit your circle. Pay attention to your last 30 days of conversations. Like, seriously, who do you call when you got a massive lawsuit pending? Who do you call when you got this deal you're looking at and you pass on it because you have no effing clue what to do with it? It's too big, but you're a big thinker. I got a question for you. Who do you talk to when you got a major problem in your business? How about when you have an opportunity that could 2 to 3x your revenue? Do you talk to your buddies or your family? No way. They just don't get what you do and I do. You need to bring these questions and ideas to elite business owners and CEOs who know what it takes to grow, scale, and solve anything that comes your way. This is why I created the Dealmaker Alliance, a private group of over 160 plus high net worth individuals all over the country in every vertical you can imagine that can take your business from where it's at to where you want it to be. This isn't for everyone though. So if you want in, head over to dealmakeralliance.com and fill out a short application and have a call with myself or Sonia. Again, that's dealmakeralliance.com. Who do you call when you have a blue-collar business and you can buy a bolt-on for pennies on the dollar because you have a relationship with this individual and they just got to get out quick? How do you raise the money? How do you take on the debt? How do you absorb the 30 new staff members that you're about to take over? You probably don't because you just delete it and move on. I can't do that. I got to get my stuff in order first. Cool. How long have you been saying that? The story you've created for yourself, is it serving you or hurting you in the future? Like I said, you're already growing subconsciously. When you start growing consciously around high-level performers, you elevate your growth. Go to the gym. I don't care how physically fit you are. Go to the USA Olympics gym and work out with one of those individuals. Your hard workout at home, your hard workout at your local gym will drastically look different when you're over there at the USA Olympic gym. I guarantee it. I have a mentor, he's worth billions of dollars. His schedule is insane. I thought I worked hard. This guy makes me look like a chump. He's like literally every 15 minutes, he's doing something massive. Big conversations, big stories. I got another buddy. Owns a multi-billion-dollar a year company. He's dealing with way high-level stuff all the time. He's building millions of square feet a year in commercial real estate to put his companies, his own companies in them. He's getting corporate brands under him and partnering with them, mass around the world distribution. That's the shit I'm talking about. That makes me think bigger. I don't have a corporate deal yet. I got to start thinking about, what do I need to create? Who do I need to become? Who's doing it that I can connect with so I can start learning the language? It's a pay to play. Folks, this is exactly what we do inside the Dealmaker Alliance. It's literally $1,000 a month to generate millions of dollars of opportunities. They're floating around there all day, every day. 160 plus people in there genuinely want to see you win. So many different types of verticals in there. You can literally talk about your wins, get massive people saying, great job, keep it up, blah, blah, blah. And then, hey, I have this challenge, I need help. Solve a problem immediately. Get an insight, get a connection. But most people want to struggle. I genuinely think most people love and are addicted to struggle. They're addicted to it. They're addicted to the story. I work hard. I show up before everyone. I leave after everyone. Okay, that's stupid. Now, it's not dumb if it's your first 5 years. It's very dumb if you've been doing it for longer than 5 years. I get it. It sounds cool online. But by the way, when you show up early, your kids don't get to see you. When you show up late, when you leave late, kids don't get to see you. You miss their practices. You don't get to do the day dates with your wife or spouse or whoever. You don't get to do all this cool stuff that why you're building all this crazy shit is to do those things. But yet people are bragging online about how hard they work and how they show up early and how they leave late. Cool. When I see that bullshit, that means you haven't figured life out. That means you're hanging out with the wrong people. Now, you can do with this information what you want. But I promise you this. If you constantly share your big ideas and big dreams and big goals with small-minded individuals, you'll always be held down. You will never live to your capacity. You'll never, ever accomplish the biggest things that you want in your life. Not because you can't, but because you're hanging out with the wrong people to make that a reality. It's doubt. They say certain things that just really piss you off and doubt you. They question you as opposed to inspire you, direct you, connect you with people. Be careful too. People in your friend circle, if they're not cheering when you're winning, be very careful. Very careful. If they say, hey, whoa, slow down, Billy. Get too big for your britches, buddy. Be careful. They don't know what you know. They don't know where you really want to go because you probably haven't expressed it to the right people. Get around the right people. Connect the dots way quicker and enjoy the fruit of your labors. I see way too many people work way too hard for way too little. I'm all about hard work, but work smart. We have a very limited amount of time. My birthday is going to be here in a couple of days, actually June 19th. I'll be 47. I feel like I was 18 2 days ago. My body doesn't feel like that sometimes, but my mind does. What I'm sharing with you, I wish I would have known and understood how powerful the information I'm sharing with you is. See, the thing is, podcasts didn't exist back then, 1996. I've been doing this game for 29 years. Information is coming at you like crazy. You can literally expand your mind, expand your big through free podcasts like you are right now. Cool. But the way to get massive leverage and momentum and your really big thinking is to get in the right group, like the Dealmaker Alliance. You can get over to DealmakerAlliance.com. Again, DealmakerAlliance.com. Fill out an application. Have a conversation with myself or Sonia. See if you're a good fit. You got to be doing $250,000 a year minimum in gross revenue in your company. That's not for startups. But the people in this room, will change your life. Absolutely change your life. Do you really want it? Or do you want to just talk about it? Aren't you worth at least $1,000 a month? You, yes, you, listening, aren't you worth $1,000 a month to invest in yourself? The answer is absolutely yes. Spend every dime you have on you. You will always be the best investment. Yes, you've taken some L's. Yes, you've got punched in the face. Yes, you fell down a bunch. That's cool. It's part of the game. But you can't quit. Get on the right bus, get around the right people, and enjoy the journey. It's worth it. I got this barn I'm building, and I can't wait to share it with you guys. Hopefully some of you come out to it because I'm going to do an event there. But it's a multi-million-dollar facility. It is personal use and maybe a little bit business use, privately. I wanted to quit on this thing 100 times already. But I call the people that are really big thinkers, really big doers, really big actions and results. And I talk through them. And they're like, here's why you're thinking that. Here's why you're feeling that. Blah, 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 blah. I'm not quitting on my vision because of temporary discomfort, ever. I want to, but I will not. Get around the right people. Have great conversations with great people, and your life will just only get better. I promise you. It's changed my life and everyone's life I hang out with. June 19th, I'll be the Big 4-7. Stay tuned. I'm going to be doing some posts, obviously, on that day. I got something to share with you guys. But I appreciate you being here. If you're brand new to the show, thank you for being here. Share it with your friends. Let them know what's up. Let's connect. Keep me posted at Mark Evans DM on Instagram. Again, at Mark Evans DM. Let me know what's going on. And let me know if the show's making an impact in your life. It'd really make me very happy to read those messages. So with that said, make today count. Peace.
I'm Mark Evans DM. I'm here to help and teach them what I know and how I did it to discover freedom. There ain't no question Mark Evans when he step in the door. He's closing